There was a small village, Riverton, where a man named Roger lived with his family. His wife Haley was very short-tempered. She always fought with the people of the village. Roger worked at a small farm but didn't earn enough money for his family's livelihood. He was always worried due to his financial situation. One such day,
Roger, what happened? Why are you looking so sad?
Nothing. I was thinking I'm so unlucky that I married Haley. That's it.
Please don't talk like that.
Why not? I'm very fed up of all these.
Tell me what happened.
No matter how hard I work, it is never enough. Always fighting with me because of the lack of money.
Why don't you go to a city and start a business over there?
It will need a lot of money.
If you need money, I will lend you some money. I will give you 10,000 rupees. You go to a city and start your business.
Really? Will you help me, Nick?
Of course I will help you. Don't worry. Come to my house tomorrow. I will give you 10,000 rupees.
Thank you very much, Nick. I'm very lucky to have you as my friend.
Please don't mention it. Come to my place tomorrow. I will keep the money ready.
Nick and Roger said goodbye to each other and returned home.
Haley, where are you?
I'm here. You were calling me? What do you want to tell?
I was thinking about going to city and starting a business there.
All of a sudden you decided to do that. Why?
Haley, I work so hard but still can't earn enough money for us. But I might earn more money if I start a business in a city.
That's a good idea. But I will be alone here. What will I do?
First, I will go to city and start a business. After few months, I will call you and tell you whether you should come or not.
Okay, fine. But what are you going to eat?
Don't worry about that. You just take care of our kids and yourself.
Next morning, Roger went to Nick's house with his packed bag.
Oh, welcome, Roger. Here, your money is ready. And work hard to be successful, alright?
Nick, do you think I can do it, my friend?
How will you know if you don't try first?
Roger took the bus and left for the city. He was stunned to see the dazzling city. After getting off the bus, he found himself standing opposite to a bank. He saw a tea seller serving tea to some people. Within few minutes, he finished selling tea. Roger was very hungry, so he asked the tea seller,
Hey brother, how much for a cup of tea?
Are you new in town? It is 10 rupees for a cup of tea.
Okay, please give me a cup of tea.
Roger paid to the tea seller and asked if there is a place where he could stay.
You can stay with me. Until you find a job, you can stay at home.
Thank you, brother. That is very kind of you. You have helped me a lot. I can't thank you enough.
When I came to the city first time, I was alone too. Nobody helped me then, so I have decided to help you. Let's go.
Let's go.
The tea seller took Roger to his home. Roger spent the night at his house. Next morning, tea seller left for his work, and Roger stayed back. After selling tea for whole day, tea seller returned home in the evening. He also brought some food for Roger.
Brother, I want to start a new business in the city. Will you please help me with this?
I will definitely help you. But which business do you think you will start?
I haven't really thought about it. But I think I will sell tea like you do.
Well, that's a good idea. If you want, you can start your business with me.
No thanks. That's not necessary. You just show me a good place for me to start business. You are already doing so much for me. I won't bother you anymore.
Do you remember the bank where we first met? There is no tea seller nearby. Why don't you start the business from there?
How much money will it need?
It might take 5,000 rupees. And you will have to buy some other material along with a trolley. Tomorrow we will go buy a trolley.
As you wish. You are helping a stranger like me in this big city. You are like a god.
Okay, let's eat. I have brought vegetable and bread for you.
Roger and tea seller had their dinner and went to sleep. Next morning, they went in search of a trolley. They also bought all the material needed to start the business.
Brother, you have helped me so much. Did you come to the city in search of work too?
Roger, I was very poor. It was very bad. I came here in search of work. No one in the city helped me and I failed many times, but I did not give up. Yesterday when I saw you, it reminded me about my past life. So I decided to help you. That's it.
So where is your family?
I don't have a family. I'm all alone in this world.
Please don't be sad. Now you have me, your brother, and my whole family is yours. Now you are not alone.
Hearing this, the tea seller couldn't hold his tears back. He kept looking at Roger as if he is his real brother. Next day, Roger and tea seller started his new business. Everyone liked the tea that Roger has prepared.
Roger, everyone loved the tea you have prepared.
Really? Have you tried? Please take this.
Tea seller accepts the drink.
Roger, this is amazing. You have done a great job. Let's go to the bank and distribute the brochures, which will bring more customers.
Okay, let's go.
Tea seller and Roger went to the bank and distributes brochures in the bank. In the evening, after finishing their work, they started chatting.
Brother, why don't we sell some snacks along with tea? It will bring more profit and customers will get more things at one place.
This is an excellent idea. We will definitely follow it.
Roger and tea seller returned home and started counting the money.
Today we brought all the materials for 1000 rupees and we have earned 5000 rupees. You keep this 2000 rupees and rest I will use for tomorrow's material.
They both finished their dinner and went to sleep. Next day, Roger went to his tea stall and tea seller also went for his work. Roger's business was doing well and his customers were satisfied. 15 days later, tea seller helped Roger to find a home on rent. Roger went to his village to meet his family. Haley was very happy to see him.
My dear, is your business doing good?
You are talking about good? It is doing better. Get ready. You are coming with me too.
Really?
Yes, really. I will go and meet Nick.
Roger went to Nick's house to visit him.
Hey Nick, where are you?
Oh, Roger, when did you come?
I have just come. Here, take your 10,000 rupees. You are my true friend, Nick. If you hadn't helped me, then I would have never left for the city and started a business.
Roger, I did what a good friend will do.
Roger and Nick said goodbye and Roger returned home. Next day, Roger left the village along with his family and returned to the city. He started living in the rented house. Haley also helped him in his business. Roger becomes very successful over the time. Tea seller also lived with them. Now, he had a new family too. They lived happily after that.
Once upon a time, in a village called Greenwich, a greedy landlord lives in. Landlord gives his land for cultivation to the farmers by applying strange conditions. David, who is a poor person, lives in the same village. The landlord gives David his land every year on contract, saying that 50% share is for landlord and 50% share for David. After cultivation, landlord takes good crop and gives bad crop to David. Due to this, David is leading a very difficult time. One day, David's son, named called Peter, returns home in holidays from city. After seeing his father's situation and listening to landlord's antics, Peter decided to do farming from that day. Dad, you don't worry at all. I will take care of cultivation from today. Peter said these words to his father and went to meet landlord. Come, Peter. Where is your father? My father is unwell. From today, I will only take care for all the cultivation chores. So let me know the condition for this year. I made his father fool till now. From today, I will play with him. Okay, then Peter, from today, whatever you harvest, the upper part of the crop belongs to me and the lower part is yours. Okay, landlord. By saying these words, Peter leaves his house. The seeds are planted by Peter and he takes care of farm very carefully. Crop is very good grown and after 3 months, landlord visits Peter at farm to take his share. Come, landlord. The grass which is grown up is yours. This time I have cultivated groundnuts. So, lower part is mine. You can take your part, landlord. Landlord gets angry by seeing this. So, landlord starts thinking that this child is making me a fool. Okay. This time I should teach him a lesson. With this thought in mind, landlord leaves that place. After few days, landlord asks Peter to visit him. Hey Peter, landlord asked you to visit him. Okay, you go. I'll come after some time. After some time, Peter visits landlord. How are you, Peter? Don't you want to do cultivation? I wanted to do cultivation, landlord. I was about to come and meet you. Child, this time the condition is a bit different. The upper part belongs to you and lower part of crop is mine. Peter said yes and left the place. He went to cultivate the land. And after 3 months, landlord visit Peter for his share. Come, landlord. This time I have cultivated wheat. As per the condition, you take the lower part towards land, and I am taking the upper part. By seeing this, landlord becomes angry and says to Peter, You feel yourself as an intelligent person? Now I will give you my land to you for cultivation, and condition is upper and lower parts are mine. The middle part is yours. Are you okay with the condition? Okay, I agrees with your condition. But this time even I have a condition, landlord. If you will lose this time, you promise me that you will give poor farmers share equally and you behaves good with them. Okay, I agree. After 4 months, landlord visits Peter's land and shocks by seeing sugarcane in the farm. Now, you can take the upper and lower parts of crop as per your condition. Yes, child. Please excuse me. I have realized my mistake. From now, I will not cheat anyone.
A man named Michael lived in a village. He had a big dairy shop. He used to provide milk, curd, and other dairy products in his shop.
Hey, what is this? Where did so many flies come today? Oh shit. Let me throw this before anyone sees.
Michael was a miser. Uncle Michael, please give me 2 kg butter.
Sure, son, I will give you right away.
Hey, what is this? Uncle Michael, there is a fly in it.
What? A fly? Show me.
The boy shows Michael the box of butter.
Wait, son. I will give you another box of butter.
Michael takes out the fly from the box and hands over the same box to the boy.
Take this, son. Is it okay now?
Yes, Uncle Michael. Thank you. I will leave now. At that time, there arrived 2 sepoys from the palace.
Listen, Michael. 40 kg butter should be delivered by noon in the palace.
Yeah, sure. But such a high quantity of butter? Is there a party in palace today?
Yes, today the king has thrown a party for the ministers.
Okay. Don't worry. You will get the butter on time.
Sepoys leave, and Michael starts preparing butter.
Listen, Simon. We have to deliver 40 kg of butter to the palace by afternoon. Let's start working quickly. But master, we don't have enough milk to prepare 40 kg of butter. Do one thing. Add half quantity water to the milk we have. That will do the work. But master, that will not be right. If the king finds this out, then he will punish us. You do your work quietly or get lost. Oh, okay, master.
Simon adds water to the milk, but even then, the quantity is not enough. Simon goes to his master to inform him.
Master, I added water to the milk, but even then, preparing 40 kg of butter is not possible. What shall we do now? Okay. You go out there and look after the shop. I will take care of this. Okay, master. I should add vegetable oil to this.
Michael takes the case of vegetable oil and adds the butter, and that fills the case of butter fully.
Wow, my work is done. Now I have to deliver this to the palace quickly.
Michael takes the case of butter to the palace and returns home after delivering that. All the ministers arrive at the party. The party was wonderful. The king welcomes the ministers wholeheartedly. All the ministers eat a lot of food. After the dinner, ministers meet the king and go back to their homes. The king offers each minister a box of sweet as return gift.
Wow, the aroma of the sweets is so good. I will also taste the sweets.
The king tasted the sweet happily. The ministers also enjoyed the sweets just like the king. After eating the sweets, the king falls sick.
Your Highness, the ministers have also fallen sick like you. What? How's this possible? Seems like something was wrong with the sweets. Go and call the chef.
Yes, Your Highness.
You fool! What kind of sweet did you make? Everyone has fallen sick after eating your sweets.
Your Highness, I prepared it very carefully. I have no idea what happened. Your Highness, I think all this happened because of Michael's butter.
Are you sure that all have fallen sick because of that butter?
Yes, Your Highness, because I could smell vegetable oil in that butter.
This means Michael cheats everyone with adulteration. General, send 2 sepoys to Michael's house to keep an eye on him. Yes, Your Highness.
Sepoys arrive at Michael's house and sneak up. The Michael was adding vegetable oil to the butter.
Oh, what's this? Michael is putting everyone in trouble by adulteration. Yes, we should catch him red-handed and take him to the king.
Yes, come quickly.
Sepoys enter Michael's house and catch him red-handed.
You adulterate butter? Now you will have to answer the king. No, please forgive me.
Come, now you will explain things to the king.
Sepoys bring Michael to the palace.
Your Highness, we caught Michael red-handed, adulterating butter.
Does this mean that you fool everyone? Please forgive me, Your Highness. I made a mistake. I will never do this. General, take him and throw in jail. No, Your Highness, please forgive me. I will never do this.
The king does not listen to Michael and the general throws him in jail.